All right, so once you have finished creating your checkerboard all along the back of this, and guys, I've messed up on mine a little bit. I colored a section in that I wasn't supposed to. It happens. Just do your best to pay attention when you are coloring in because it's going to give you the best illusion. But if something happens, just roll with it. It's going to be all right. So what we're doing next is we are going in and coloring in the circles. So this, what I'm going to tell you is really not to worry too much about what the checkerboard is doing around it, but you need to pay really close attention to make sure you are doing the right thing in your checkerboard within the circle. So it's going to be alternating every other one just like before, but because they're at these curves and these angles, it's going to be a little trickier. So you're just going to have to pay a little closer attention to really make sure you're keeping everything inside the lines and where it needs to go. So I'm going to kind of start, and it might help even if you kind of outline your section if you need to. And if you're using a crayon like I am, sometimes it's going to get a little thick, and just really be careful and pay attention. So that was one. This is a section I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to do kind of this middle triangle section here that I am going to color in. If you're having trouble, you might even take like a pencil to start with and just kind of mark all of the ones that you do need to color in. So colored, not colored in, not colored in. Then coming down to the next one, since this is colored in, that one's going to be, and this one's going to be. So it's going to alternate. If that helps you at all in pencil, so you can kind of adjust and get what you need to there. Like I said, just do your best to keep really nice straight and inside the lines, because the neater your lines are, the better your optical illusion is going to turn out to be. The only thing I will say, if you go in and make the little pencil marks, if you have a color like yellow or something that's really light, that pencil mark might show through, so you might want to erase it before you go to add the color on top. So I've gone through alternating those ones, then it's going to switch again. So on this one, I'm going to kind of have this little triangle here, skip, and then this big section on mine is going to be colored in. Yours may not. You may have started doing yours in the opposite pattern, and your big section may be left white, and that's fine. You can also, when you go to do this on your other circles, you can color them in so they're kind of the same, or you can make each one different, where some maybe the center square is white and some maybe it's not. You just have to make sure you plan out your alternating pattern first so that you don't end up with just a solid circle colored in, because that is going to kind of make your illusion a little more disappointing if that is how yours kind of works out to be. So I'm finding it easier to go in and kind of outline my shape first that I'm coloring in. Just don't get confused when you outline it and color in the wrong shape with that. So it kind of should be where all of your colored in shapes have corners that are touching. Like I said, since some of these shapes are really kind of strange, curved, triangle shapes, just pay attention and be really careful where these shapes are going, because some of them might be a little tricky and confuse you as to whether or not it's next to that shape. All right, so once I've done one, I'm going to alternate and switch to my other shape down here. So this one I'm going to do the opposite way. Now I'm going to leave those outside one blank, and I'm going to alternate this way. All right, so there it is. I have both of my circles completely colored, filled in. If I'm looking at this kind of from afar, I'm like, oh, that's a little wonky. I need to kind of smooth that out, fill in some sections, maybe erase a little bit of pencil if I need to kind of even out my look today. But this is where we're really going to stop, is once your circles are colored in for today. And next week we will do the very last step, which is going to be adding a shadow around each of our circles to give them that last three-dimensional pop.